Good morning. Here are our tomatoes. We brought them inside for the night because last night it was too late to start planting. And we also knew it'd be too cold just to leave them in the greenhouse like this. Poo from the poo pit. Have found the jackpot. All sorts of trees have edible components, and for the spruce tree, in the spring, they grow these nice new tips, and these tips are edible. And not only are they edible, they have a unique and delicious flavor. There's all sorts of things you can do with these. They have a citrusy and sharp flavor. The texture though, they are very, very soft, very gentle, so don't worry. When foraging, you want to make sure you're getting spruce tips and not any other tree, because not all of them are safe to eat. For these trees, this is their new growth. It's an essential part of their life period. So when you're foraging and taking these buds, you want to be careful not to take too many. The next day, my tea has been steeping. It smells good. This step is really simple. You really want to get all of this good stuff out. Oh. Okay. One final squeeze. Okay, wonderful. We've got our... Hello? Okay, we've got our liquid. Yum, yum, yum. And then back into my pot goes my beautiful, beautiful liquid. Do you know what? I want to try it now before we add anything to it. I've got a little spoon. Smells good. Oh, wow. That flavor is already stronger than I expected it to be. Wow. It's very lemony, and there's no lemon in this. Wow. So for every 2 cups of liquid, you can do 1 cup of sugar. But for me, I'm thinking I'm adding 1 cup of sugar. I might add more if I feel like it. And now I'm going to try a little experiment. I'm going to make some spruce tip biscuits. I really just want to see like how they would turn out incorporated, baked into something. I don't have a huge amount of confidence, hence why I'm doing such a tiny. I'm going to chop them up real nice and small, so that hopefully they incorporate nicely and easily. Listen, I love the syrup, but there's only so many times you can make syrup out of things before you have too much syrup. And I'm not a huge syrup drinker. Anyway. I've got my, I'm gonna go with a really basic shortbread recipe, just to make this nice and easy. For proof of concept. So I'm gonna start with 60 grams of flour into the bowl. Follow that up with 20 grams of sugar. That was too much. $20 grams of sugar, and follow that up with 40 grams of butter. Okay, awesome. And then into, it wasn't turning off. Okay, nothing terrible. If you don't, okay. Pinch of salt, because I love salt. We've established that. Salt Bay. And then getting some nice flake going. And then at this point, when it's gotten flaky, I'm gonna add some of these. And at a certain point, I want to start being able to gather this up into a bit of a dough. Look out, now I need to roll this out. We lightly flour our worktop and our rolling pin, and then we incredibly gently roll it out. You don't want it too thin. So I'd say this is good. I'm happy. Chop it up into biscuits. Don't be scared to experiment with your foods. Again, nice and easy, even spacing. Whack them onto a baking tray. I have preheated to 170 degrees Celsius because it's fan. And then we'll see if these are tasty. I think I did overcook them a little. Can you see the beautiful layers in there? Because I maybe cooked them a lot too long. Well, the good news is they don't taste disgusting. The bad news, well, not bad news, the medium news is that I'm not sure really much flavour was imparted. I do think I'm catching a hint of the lemony flavour. Either way, the shortbread is still tasty shortbread. Nothing bad happened. I think I might try bake these again. Splish splash! Mini update on some of the apples we're growing. Flowers! It's a good sign. Must have planted them well, I hope. Check this out. A second one. A second of our planted apple trees is blooming. As for these trees that we planted in here, it's uncertain. Please grow big and strong. We've started planting on our field, but it is still currently too wet to keep planting. And I think you can tell the garlics need to be cleaned up a little, but they're growing very well, so I'm happy. Our field has never flooded like this before. It is a very, very, very wet spring. Here is a tree we actually planted last year that is looking very, very, very good. Let's hope for better weather. Tiffy! We've already planted these 2 rows of onions and carrots, and the field seems to finally be dry enough to actually continue planting. Planting onions is very easy. You take your onion bowl, teeny tiny, then you wanna make sure you're getting a good distance between your onions, and then because my ground is very wet and very soft, I can just shoop and shove it in. There you go. Hopefully onions will grow. While I'm busy planting, look who's sneaking up behind me. Field seems to finally be dry enough. I have never been inside my field quite this literally before. Also, I've had to switch to being barefoot because I lost my boots to the field. Huzzah! Look at this nice green patch of stinging nettles. Let's go pick some stinging nettles and other greenery for our dinner. Personally, I love foraging in the spring. It's really the perfect time to do it. The garden has yet to grow anything of substance, so now is the nice time. And after a long winter of not eating anything fresh from the ground, you might not find the most delicious things possible to eat, but they will be fresh. I'm using gloves so I don't get stung. You only really want the top because it's freshest. You don't want the stalk and the older leaves, as they can be too fibrous and they're going to be just difficult to eat. Let's hope this is enough, eh? Oh, mosquitoes. Listen, when you get into foraging, you will discover that a lot of these edible greens just taste of green, and they all taste the same. They're edible, yes, but they don't taste very good. I think, however, stinging nettles have a more preferable flavour to most spring leafy green edibles that you can forage. So if you're looking to try a leaf, I would recommend stinging nettles over something like dandelion leaves or anything else you can find. They're a little more dangerous, but they're tasty. Anyway, if you do get stung, these barbs at the end, they're antihistamines. A lot of people purposefully whack themselves with stinging nettles to help with things like circulation and allergies. I'm not enough of a masochist personally to do that, but maybe you want to try. And let me show you something else. Oh, let me get down here. These, with the purple flowers, are known as deadhead nettles. Because despite being nettles, and directly related to these nettles, I can touch them and not be stung at all. They're also completely edible. Lots of people like to use the flowers for decoration. So, something to also keep an eye out for in your garden. And something I can add to my dinner. And while we're on the topic, why don't we add some of these to dinner? Okay, so now in my pan, to my pan of sauteed onions and garlic, I'm gonna add my stinging nettle and other greens. Alley-oop. It seems like a lot, but once they start to cook, anyone who's cooked spinach or any kind of leaves before will know this is not actually that much. I'm gonna pour over some stock. And quickly pop the lid on so this can steam. For a minute. Now we need to puree this. We can take this off the heat and into the blender. And now I take my puree and I add it to my roux. Such a beautiful green. Yum. I had to rush out to show you this. It's the first rainbow. Whoa. Look at how golden my sunset is.